So how does it work when you want to buy another house, but you have to sell your house in order to afford to buy the next house? It's a lot of moving pieces. It's definitely overwhelming and can be stressful. But how does that typically play out in real life? Well, I'm glad you asked. Enter the contingent offer. A contingent offer is when you make an offer on your next house subject to selling your current home at a certain price or within a certain time period. Now, ideally, I will tell my clients it's usually a lot better and works a lot more quickly if you are able to get your home at least on the market, better yet in escrow, before you start writing offers on the next house. Because that shows the seller and the listing agent on the next house that you're serious, you're making progress, and it's not going to be a protracted period to get your home sold for them to sell their house to you. So there's a few things to keep in mind if you're considering going down this path of buying and selling at the same time or having a concurrent close. Ideally, like I said, get your home on the market first, and then we'll go shopping for your next house. In this instance too, with both your buyer and your seller, it oftentimes makes sense to negotiate the longest possible escrow period that you can. 45, 60 days makes it a lot more likely to close on time without any delays. You kind of want to, under promise and over deliver. So if you're able to secure a longer escrow on both transactions, your chances of them closing concurrently without any issues is a lot higher. There are also other options. If you need to sell your house first to buy your home, you can talk to lenders about what's called a bridge loan. This would be a loan amount for the entire purchase price of your next house and give you a lot more time to sell your current home. But that's just definitely something that's going to come at a little bit of a higher cost for that type of loan, but it's definitely worth exploring those options with your lender because it could play out in a few different ways. So funny, actually one of the deals I'm most proud of happened during the height of COVID when the market was super insane, intense. Houses were flying off the market in 3 days for like $100,000 over asking. But I'm super proud because we actually did pull off a contingent sale and a contingent offer on a new home for my clients, and we sold their house at the same time. So they were able to reap the benefits of that seller's market and get their contingent offer accepted. How did we do it? Well, it was a long process, but it worked out flawlessly. So what we did is I took them shopping when we were about a week and a half away from putting their house on the market because I wanted them to see what the inventory was at that point. It was like a very low inventory time, and I wanted them to kind of be aware of what they were getting at a certain price point to move up to a larger home. So we go out to a few open houses. I show them a few different options in the areas that they're looking at here in Orange. Knowing that we're about a week and a half away from getting their house on the market. As luck would have it, they absolutely fell in love with one of those houses from the second day that we went out shopping and absolutely had to have it, even though we were still a week and a half away from getting their home on the market. So what I did to pull it off for them, first of all, they were amazing clients. They trusted the process and they were able to be aggressive and kind of understand what it was going to take for us to pull this off. And I'm so glad we did. So the first thing we did is we went to the open house and the listing agent hosted her own open house, which was great. So we were able to meet her and she saw my clients fall in love with the home IRL. Like she saw them get the heart eye emoji. We stayed at the house a long time. We chatted with her. We learned a lot about the sellers, which is also key. You want to know as much about the sellers as you can. You want to know what their motivations are. You want to know why they're moving, where they're going, because that all helps you put forth your strongest offer to woo them. So second day of the open house, I go back without my buyers and it's dead because it's a Sunday. Sunday open houses are always a little bit less crazy than a Saturday. And I say to the listing agent, I said, I'm here to see you. I think you know that you met my clients yesterday and I think you know how much they fell in love with this house while they were here. I've got a little bit of a problem though and I need your help. We are about a week away from putting their house on the market. What can we do to win this for them? And she said, well, let's put together an offer and see what happens. And I said, great. She didn't tell me no. So if I don't get a no, then it's a maybe or it's a yes, and I'm going to keep pushing forward. So I also knew that because we had spent so much time building rapport and talking to the listing agent, I knew that the sellers had been there for over 30 years. I knew that they were extremely sentimental people. I knew that they loved their neighbors, loved their neighborhood, and were sad to go, but they had this amazing cabin in Big Bear, and they just wanted more of that kind of cabin lifestyle as they went into retirement. So I had all this amazing knowledge to write the offer, and I talked to my clients, and I said, You know how crazy this market is right now. We're gonna have to pull out all the stops and get really creative to win this house. So what did that offer look like? It's probably one of my most creative to date, but we did go over asking by $20,000. However, the house did appraise, so that was a non-issue. They didn't have to cover any appraisal gap. We actually thought about the sellers and their standpoint on things, and we gave them or asked for a 45-day escrow. I knew those sellers needed that time to process everything, to go through all of their stuff, decide what was worth keeping and what wasn't, because they were definitely the sentimental types that held on to a lot of memories and mementos over the years. So we wrote a 45-day escrow, which the sellers ended up loving and thought was great. And this is where things got a little creative. I let them know that, we can tell this home and this neighborhood means a lot to you and it's a close-knit circle. So what I can say to you is that if you accept our offer, I will throw you me as a listing or as a selling agent, the buyer's agent, will throw you a going away party that's, with a certain budget for food and drinks. So all of your neighbors can come and you can say goodbye to everybody. And then I will bring the new neighbors, my clients, and they can all meet each other and it'll be a nice little send off for you as you say goodbye to this home that you've had for over 30 years. And that is what sealed the deal. I cannot tell you how amazing that turnout was. Not only did we win the house, we sold my client's house within a week. We had 4 offers. Both of the escrows closed within 4 days of each other. And we were able to give those sellers plenty of time to move out. And we created this amazing memory for them with this going away party that they absolutely loved. We had a taco cart come. It was fully catered. We had a great time. All of the neighbors got to mingle and interact. I got to interact with all the neighbors, which was amazing. The broker for the listing agent called me and tried to recruit me because she hadn't seen anything so creative during this pandemic era that we were in. And I'm just super happy that it all worked out for everybody. And I actually did end up meeting their son and daughter-in-law of the sellers, and I ended up listing their house for sale a few short months later. So it was really just an amazing opportunity for everyone to come together to work collaboratively on a concurrent close, and that is my contingent offer success story.